Alright, we're going to take a look at Carrier Battlegroup Solitaire. This is part of the November-December issue, number 14 of Modern War magazine. This is a pretty good issue of the magazine. They go pretty in-depth into some Cold War topics about what the game's actually about. The the posturing from each side at the time. A nice article on the Battle of Quezon here, which is good. Some other stuff, and then some more exploration of Cold War aircraft and some carrier here. Pretty nice issue. And it has a solo game with it, which is quite honestly why I bought it. So in this game, you are playing basically the commander of a Nimitz class aircraft carrier. You're going to have a battle group with you, which is represented by this chit here. So this is kind of all of your ships. You're going to start down here in the NATO base. You're going to have a group of ships with you that you randomly roll to find out what you get. Trying to complete a random mission. So there are 6 missions that you can potentially do. You can also, or I guess that's 7. You can also play them in a campaign, which I think you do. I didn't read the rules for it because I generally just play scenarios, but I would assume you take that one out, and then if you beat that scenario, you get a special activity for the next one, which is kind of cool. Just finished up the Denmark Strait scenario. That's not what it's called. It's called something else. The Sea Control scenario. So what you do is you pull one of these random chits. We'll pull one now. I got Sea Control, so we're not going to do that one because I just did that one. I'm not going to do that one either. Air support. Man, I am not focusing. So you put that up here, and we'll read the mission. Provide air support to NATO ground forces engaged against the Warsaw Pact. So the navigation line is the central front. These lines here are the navigation line. Central front is this green one that's not on here. I just had the paper in the way. There it is. So this is probably going to be a pretty short scenario. So next it'll tell us how many turns we have. Only 4 turns. So we'll mark that. That's going to be tough. There's going to be 2 coastal defense units. Alright, so we put our 2 coastal defense units in the objective space. We're going to roll for the Soviet alert level. We have a +1 modifier for it. So we rolled a 4. I'm going to look down here. Means we rolled a 5, so it's going to be a 2. This is going to be tough. So what we need to do is move to the central front and destroy all coastal units. We only get 12 logistic points, and this is how you buy your units. So we're not going to be able to bring a ton of stuff with us. And then here's the bonus if you win the scenario in the campaign game. So you would get an additional P3 F4 KC air unit, which is cool. With the Denmark Strait one, you would get an additional destroyer or frigate at the start, which is cool too. So we're going to be down here. Let me clean up a little bit. Alright, so because of the alert level being set at 2, we're going to have two Soviet battle groups. For each one of these we roll a die, and that's going to get that number of ships in there. So there's 1, and 2 has 5 in it. So they're here. Let me just draw these face down. I'll get a couple out here. So we have 1 and 5. Just like that. Now we're gonna place the battle groups, and we're because this is 6, and it's funny. The first time I played, I was like, man, I wish it would. I was counting from here to there. Wish it told you how many there were. It does right there. So there's 6 dots in this. So we're gonna roll a die for each of these guys. This will be 1, and this will be 2. 5 and 6. So they're actually going to both end up here. That's how many spaces away from this they're going to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't be in the NATO base. So they're encroaching already. We have the coastal defense units out. We have our carrier. I've already done this stuff already. This tells you how to set up your track here, and this the 2 most important ones are the CIC and the CAG. They kind of control how good you are, and then these will take hits as you take damage to your carrier. Now we're going to roll for our escorts. And we roll on this. 5. So we're going to get 1 cruiser, 4 destroyers, and 2 frigates. So let me get that sorted. Alright, we have that. We have our cruiser, Aegis class, 4 destroyers, 2 frigates. They're going to go up here in this box. And then what we get to do is spend our logistic points for one of these charts. Right here, buying things. So it's air units, crew. The camera crew is a good one. It gets you extra victory points. And the EW is good because it adds to your intelligence rolls. So I'm going to definitely get those. Some special, if you need these, you have to buy them. Like one of the Arctic Circle ones is you have to land somebody up there. Defense, and we have important cruise missiles. The field points, you do you have to expend field points to move at your at +1 to your maximum speed, and then ammunition you need for combat. Alright, have all the units purchased. We purchased a P3 aircraft here. It's land-based. I should do this down here. It has a range of 13. It's good against submarines, which is this, and land-based. Nothing against air. It's a bomber. It's not a fighter. Electronic warfare here. This is kind of intelligence, and this is the defense. So if it takes 1 hit, it's dead. But the reason I bought a land-based is that I'm going to try to let the Navy take care of the battle groups, and then hopefully clear that up and get this guy over here and do some damage. Because we only have 4 turns to complete this. There's 6 units to end up taking out of here. That's going to take a long time. Combat's it's 1 combat turn per turn. You don't do combat until it's completely resolved. So there's going to be a bit of a slog there. I also bought 2 F-18s, or A-18s, and they are carrier based, so they end up in the hangar there. Bought a camera crew for the victory points. Every time you sink a ship, you roll a die and you get that many more victory points, which is kind of cool. It doesn't, I mean, it's not playing into much, but I like it. I didn't go with the electronic warfare crew. even though the intelligence would be nice, we're going to encounter these guys right away. There's nothing I can really do about that, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. And our carrier there has a 5 EW rating anyway, so we're sitting pretty good. So yeah, our EW right now is 10. That's pretty good, and we'll see why in a little bit. All right, I think everything's good to go. Escorts, stuff, task force, we're here, did all that. Okay, so we're good. So the first thing you can do is attempt to do intelligence. Again, this doesn't really matter for us. Might as well do it. Let's try to see what's in care group 2. So our intelligence value is the EW value of the ship, which is 5. We don't have an EW crew. And then our CIC is at 5. So we have 7 there. Okay, so we're going to be in this. We're going to roll a die. Roll a 4. JD. Deception, select one of the following, reduce Soviet alert level by 2 levels, or add 1 turn to the scenario. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm gonna reduce this. That'll make things a little bit easier. So that's good. Then you can do logistics, which is repairing things or buying stuff. I've spent all my logistic points because it's such a short turn. It doesn't matter. We're just gonna kind of punch ahead. Now we can move. We're gonna move this guy there. We have contact. So the first thing we do is reveal what's in these. I'm going to bring these closer just so I don't have to keep reaching out there. So in Soviet Battlegroup 1 is a nuclear submarine. Battlegroup 2, battlecruiser, 2 subs so far. Wow, 3 subs. And a okay, this is going to potentially be bad. All right, so I don't know how we treat these. Let me see. Okay, for this, I verified these can be in the same space. I think we're going to end up treating these as one battle group. Because I don't think you can have two combat rounds. So what we're going to do is decide who has the tactical edge in this. So we've done our contact. These guys are revealed. So we're going to take the CIC leadership and the EW rating. So that's 10 total. Contact rating for the Soviet side is the EW of 1 ship, so 3 plus the alert level, so they're at 4. So we're at plus 6. Yeah, so we have 10 minus 4, we're at 6. We're going to roll a 6-sided die, but we're going to end up positive here. So that means US has the tactical edge. So pretty easy to figure out. I haven't ended up down here yet. So the US has the tactical edge. What happens now is we're going to move into combat. Well, we're going to do the tactical routine. So if the Soviets had the tactical edge, we would have to set up randomly first, and then, or set up first and then they go out randomly. We're going to check for them randomly and then we get to set ours up. And handily, this is on the map also. So we're just going to go through these guys and roll. 2, so he is in the inner, outer, inner. You get the idea. Well, before we do that, skipping ahead. So after movement, we do contact, but we don't get to this part yet. We have to do an incident, which means we draw one of these chits in here, and it's a random event. Logistical failure. That's if you move at max speed. Something bad happens. We didn't do that. We only moved to 1. So we're good. And then I have to launch aircraft. I probably want to go ahead and launch aircraft because there's so many out. So we do that. So now we get to set up our guys. And these are going to go, inner and outer as we see fit. See, this isn't fun. I'm going to actually put these guys on the inner zone. So the first thing that happens is anti-air. These guys have a high anti-air rating, but these guys don't have any air. So they get to shoot at them first, even though I have the tactical edge, because they're going to fire at ground. So these guys are all 0. Oh, there's submarines. Crap. Yeah, all the subs got in the middle. Okay, let me get these set up.